Hello, what's up again, YouTube world? It's your girl here, Dana Monet, here once again to recap season 11 of The Voice. The battle rounds begin. This is The Voice. Ding, 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 ding. So excited about the battle round starting. And, you know, I'm going to discuss all the battles, but I am going to talk about my favorite battles first. Starting with night one. Let me just double check here. Okay. So, of course, Lauren Diaz versus McDonald singing Maybe was an epic battle, to say the least. I think that Lauren started off the song very strong, and then comes in, and just that tone, it just stops everything. It's like, I stopped the world, world stop. Carry on. Like, that's how it is when her voice comes on. And their harmonies were so on point. Lauren definitely has a lot of charisma. I love Way's elongated notes and Lauren's rasp. Way hit that high note out of nowhere. I thought it was definitely a nice battle. It was a nice back and forth of greatness, but Way was edging her out just because it's something that Lauren just doesn't have any control over. Way just has a tone that's just undeniable, completely recognizable, and just ridiculously full, deep, smooth. Like, her tone is everything. But we already know that there's going to be a steal, right? We know this. The harmonies were perfect, as I mentioned earlier. The pain in Way's voice at the end was really wonderful. I would pick Way, and Alicia is not stupid. She picked Way too, but I knew that Lauren would be stolen. And Miley stole Lauren. Now, the first night I actually didn't get a chance to watch. I actually watched the videos on YouTube, but I did clarify who did get the steal, because there's some people that more than one person pushed the button, but Miley did steal Lauren. So, yay. All right, so Christian Cuevas versus Jason Warrior. They sang, "Hello, it's me." And I thought that Jason had a really nice voice, lots of personality and conviction in his voice. And I was a little bit surprised that they were using this song as a battle song, because I felt like people like to stay away from Adele. They had some nice harmonies. The chorus is when it kicks in, you know, "Hello from the other side." You know, that's when it goes, like it soars. I was definitely feeling Jason more than Christian. I think that he's feeling it more, and his voice sounded better to me. And he did a slide, and I love a good slide. I don't do slides that well, but I love it when somebody can do it. I think that Christian has a nice voice, but I think that he was just being beaten by someone who has more passion, in my opinion. This is how I was reviewing the battle. That run that they did, that run in harmony that they did together was genius. And the note at the end that they harmonized on was great. I really wasn't checking for either of these guys in the blinds, I have to say, but Jason definitely did the damn thing, and he's definitely one to watch. I felt like Jason should win, but I knew that there was gonna be a steal. But Alicia picked Christian, which I was kind of surprised about, but not completely. I thought that, you know, Jason should have won, but I knew he was definitely gonna get a steal. And I feel like she chose Christian because she felt Jason would be stolen. So I thought that was very Pharrell of her. But Adam steals Jason. So good for Jason, still on the show. Always good to still be on the show. All right, and my last of my favorite battles for night one was Caldwell versus Courtney Ramirez, and they sang Hit or Miss. I thought that Courtney sounded pretty good. She has nice charisma, but it's a little bit like she's trying too hard a little bit, and then Allie comes in with just ease, control, and strength, and going through the difficult rhythm and everything with no problem. I liked Courtney on those la la la's. I don't even remember how the song goes, but there was a la 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 part in there, and she was like up there, like just short of a screech, but it was not quite, so it was cool and it worked. I wasn't expecting that high voice. Courtney's voice can get a little too high and screechy sometimes. She needs to watch that because her tone isn't the most pleasant in her upper register. I thought this was a pretty good battle, but I have to give it to Allie because of her control, and her tone is more pleasing to the ear, as I mentioned. Miley chose Allie, which was the correct choice. And Alicia and Blake battled for the steal for Courtney, and Alicia ended up stealing Courtney. So that was pretty fair. Moving on to my favorites of night 2. Dave Moisan and Michael Sanchez, and they sang Valerie. Get to school, something, something in the water. But they actually slowed down the arrangement. It was a lot better. Valerie! And I love the arrangement in both of their voices. And they got that piano thing together real quick that they were struggling with in rehearsal. I actually watched night 2, and it was good because it was only an hour. But Michael's voice is just so commanding, and I love his tone. And when he dips into his lower registers, it's like that full, like complete tone that I like. It's like a round tone. Their harmonies were definitely on point. I do enjoy Dave's voice as well. It's very soft and pretty, and he has good like nuances and different things that he does with his voice that are interesting. But he also has punch in his falsetto is nice as well. But Michael just has that gruffness in his voice. I think this was my favorite battle of the second night. I felt some harmonies, Dave's voice was on point, but it sounded too quiet, like it wasn't strong enough, like I couldn't hear the harmonies all the time. His part, but it was still right. I just couldn't hear it all the time. And the ad-libs that Michael was doing at the end were complete money. I definitely would have picked Michael. Alicia picked Michael, and Adam steals Dave. So not mad at that at all. The other battle that I enjoyed on night 2 was Courtney Harrell versus Ethan Tucker. And they sang, Gravity Wants to Bring Me Down. I thought this was a nice song choice for them because sometimes Blake can be kind of iffy with song choices, especially when he's dealing with non-country artists. So I think he did a good job. It does kind of have a country little vibe to it. Ethan's voice was just absolutely perfect for this song. Him singing John Mayer is like, it just worked. His voice just slid right in there, and his gruff, like raspy tone just hits you. And it's like with ease. That's just the way he sounds. It's just his voice. But Courtney more than held her own. She has a very high voice. Like she's definitely a soprano, but it's not like her voice is more pleasing to the ear than the other Courtney. It's like two Courtneys. So I guess she's Hispanic. So the Hispanic Courtney, her name is Courtney Ramirez, right? Yes. So this is Courtney with the IE. Her voice can be a little screechy in the upper register, but Courtney with the EY, the black Courtney, her upper register is perfect. Like that's her money area for real, for real. It's soft and pretty, but it's also powerful. And she nailed those high belts. Like I mentioned, she understands dynamics. I mentioned this about her blind audition. Ethan's belt in the middle of the song was great. And that yell that he did, you know, when people with a rasp, they do a nice good yell, like a nice good, I can't do it because I don't have a natural rasp when I sing, but you know what I'm talking about. I felt like this was a fair one, and the winner to me would have been based completely on personal preference. Me personally, I would have chosen Courtney mostly because I feel like she's more versatile. And I think that Ethan can only sing certain types of songs and sound good, but he definitely stepped up his game so much from the blinds. Blake picked Courtney, which I was actually surprised about. I thought that he would go with Ethan, but I was happy that he chose her. But I was actually surprised nobody stole Ethan. So, you know, I'm kind of surprised about that. We'll see what the battles hold for next week, but this might be a situation of a good comeback. Who knows? So those were my favorites. So I had 5 favorite battles. These battles were not as epic as last season as far as to start, I have to say. But they were solid battles and they were good battles. So I said I wanted to talk about all of them. So I am. And so I wanted to discuss Natasha Bure versus Riley Elmore. First of all, Natasha is, I say DJ Tanner, but Candace Bure's daughter, you know, from Full House. And a lot of people gave her a lot of flack online, and I actually liked her blind audition before she kind of started, you know, messing up a little bit. But they sang Cry Me a River, not Justin Timberlake's Cry Me a River, but the old school Cry Me a River. And Riley Elmore is that crooner guy, and it was perfect for him. And it was almost like Natasha was set up to fail. Although when her voice came into the song, I really enjoyed it much more than his. I love her lilt and power, and Riley just isn't versatile enough for me. I think he'll be going in the knockouts, to be truthfully honest. He's stuck in one genre, and I think Natasha was more than holding her own and actually has a lot of power and dynamics. To me, it was a no-brainer who won. I thought Natasha actually won, but Adam decided to choose Riley. I guess I can't really be completely mad. She's a little bit inconsistent, but I think that this would have been kind of a great opportunity to kind of allow somebody to have an arc and have a trajectory where they just keep on getting better, because she definitely improved from our blind audition, and Riley is not spectacular or anything like that. He pretty much stayed the same. So that's how I feel about that. And just in reference to celebrities bringing their family members on the show or whatever, she was a lot better than Brianna Cuoco, who was Kaylee Cuoco's sister a few seasons ago. So I'm just going to say that. Next was Andrew DeMuro versus Billy Gilman, and they sang, I'm talking about the man in the mirror. Oh, yeah. My jam. They sounded kind of similar, except maybe Billy does more interesting things with the melody. That was difficult for me to tell who was singing in the beginning, I have to be honest. But Andrew has pipes too. I don't remember him in the blinds. I think that this was actually a good pairing. They're really similar in styles. I do wish that there were more harmonies in the song. Sometimes it's hard to get the harmonies in this song. I wasn't crazy about Billy's high note that he did. I actually thought Andrew was killing it more, but I knew that Billy was going to win because of the child prodigy, bringing back child star Curly Sue last season. You know how this stuff goes. Andrew's voice is a little bit more soulful, and I need soul on the song. I gotta get it right where you got the top, because you can't close your mind. You know, I get a little crunk when this song come on. So I did love the last harmony note though, but I would have given the win to Andrew, and a lot of people online felt the same way that I did about him and didn't really think that Billy won the battle. You know, Adam chose Billy. I think they were evenly matched. It was a fair one. I'm not mad that Andrew wasn't stolen. I just think that in the battle, Andrew sang better. So there you go with that. And the last battle from night one was Dan Schaefer versus Sundance Head. And they sang Feel Like Making Love. And this was like the whole episode went by and there was only one country battle. It was more like country rock, southern rock, so I could live with that. Nice harmonies, but it started out kind of boring, I have to say. Dan still has a nice, pure voice, and, you know, he decided to get up and start, you know, kind of rocking out a little bit. And I like Sundance's voice better overall. His high rasp is really nice. He was jamming on the guitar. It wasn't as boring as I thought it was going to be. So that was like midway through. And Sundance definitely has more textures to his voice and more interesting things that he can just like kind of pull out of his hat. And that scream that he did, scream rasp is the best kind of thing. It was money. But Dan isn't taking the sitting down. I thought it was a solid battle, but I give it to Sundance, and Blake chose Sundance. So that was the correct choice on Blake's part. So on night 2 of the battles, the only one I didn't talk about was Lane Mack versus Sophia Yot, and they sang a song called Money. I never heard it before, but that's the song that they sang. It was my least favorite battle of that night, not so much because it was bad, but just out of the 3, that was just my least favorite. It was only 3 battles. I I'll say Sophia really had no contest, to be truthfully honest. I mean, I think Lane has a nice voice, but it's a bit like generic rock to me. And Sophia is just, and I felt like that in the blind auditions. He was kind of generic. I was actually kind of surprised that somebody turned around. He wasn't interesting enough. Like, he has a nice voice, don't get it twisted, but need to be more interesting. Sophia is just a spitfire. And and she has all the star quality in the world. Her style is on point. I love her hair. Like, her clothes just be bomb. And Adam said if Sophia's voice matched her stage presence, it would be a win-win all over. And I agree. Like, she definitely has a voice, but I think that she kind of hides it behind screens and doing rock. Like, I would like to hear her do a nice ballad. I don't mind if it was a rock ballad, but I want to hear something different coming from her voice. But no doubt she has the stage presence down pat. Lane was kind of forgettable to me, but their harmonies were nice at the end. I'd pick Sophia. That's the only correct choice. I thought Miley picked Sophia, so correct, Miley. So that was it for the battles that they showed. Of course, they aired montages on night 2, and we know how much I hate montages, so I'm not going to go into that spiel. So Elia versus Ponciano. Elia was the Latina who sang Como la Flor in her blind audition. I actually really liked her, but she lost to Ponciano. You know, like I said before, I always like to see these, but whatever. Charity versus Josette. Josette was the very last blind audition that they showed, so I was actually surprised that they montaged her battle, but she moved on to the next round. And Kalia versus May. And May advanced to the next round. She was the girl with like the bleach blonde hair and like the dark lipstick. And she has this really like unique kind of ethereal voice. I said in my other recaps that she sounds like a better, more edgy version of Taylor Swift. So that was her. So I was happy that that she moved on. And that's it for the battles. I mean, I hope that next week is more eventful. I'll say this season, it's not that it's not great talent, because there actually is great talent. I haven't gotten attached to anybody yet the way that I did, especially for season 10. Like, this kind of feels like season 9 again, except I feel like it's better singers this season, and maybe I'm just not as invested. And also, I noticed that it's not a lot of people actually looking at my reviews for The Voice. I don't know if people just aren't watching it, because I did get quite a few people viewing my American Idol reviews when I was doing them, and some comments and stuff. So I don't know if people don't go online and look for The Voice reviews. I know I had tons of people viewing my Power, the TV show on Stars that comes on in the summertime. Definitely a lot of people were reviewing that. So I don't think it's that I'm not popular. It's just that people, you know, don't be looking for reviews for maybe singing competitions like that anymore. And that's okay. So I'm kind of deciding whether I still want to do these reviews if people aren't really viewing them, and if, you know, I'm not really like that invested. So we'll see. You know, if I feel like doing them, I'll keep on, you know, doing them, because I actually do want to complete a full season of The Voice. I have yet to complete a full season of The Voice for reviews. Season 9, I did every week except for the finale, so I guess you could say I did the whole thing. And last season, I stopped right before the live playoffs. I was having some issues uploading that live playoff video, and I never got it up, and I just kind of gave up the remainder of the time. And it's a shame, because that was such a great season, but it's okay. I want to try to get through this, because I really like Alicia and Miley as mentors, so, you know, I want to see what's going to happen. So we'll see. And I think I'll be seeing you guys next week. So hopefully I'll get more than 7 people viewing this. So until next time, see you later. Bye. Oh, and I'm going to be posting some videos of me singing that I did at open mic. I haven't posted a lot of videos of me singing in a while. And this was the first time I performed in front of an audience in like almost 2 years. So be sure to check that out. And I'll see you next time. Bye.